Capricorn, welcome to your 2026 AstroHouse Deep Dive reading. So the way this is structured, I'm doing a tarot reading by Astrology House. So all along the top row here that you really can't see in this image, it's all the houses in astrology. So I'll talk about the houses and I'll talk about the signs connected to the houses, starting with Capricorn in the first house. And so that said, this is going to be applicable for your sun, your moon, your rising, Venus, stellium, whatever you normally listen to when it comes to tarot readings. Still applicable here. The tarot reading itself is connected to the subject matter of the house. The sign really kind of coordinates if this is your rising sign. So Capricorn rising, these signs will make sense relative to the houses. Otherwise, it's more information. So with that, let's dive in. Let's dive into the first house here. And so the first house, it's the house of self. So it's your personality, your self-expression, your conscious self, approach to life, attitude, viewpoint, energy, assertiveness, ego, physical presentation, vitality, body, first impression, outward behavior, how you see the world and how the world sees you. And so it is in the sign of Capricorn, as I said. And so Capricorn is ambitious, strategic, disciplined, confident, practical, persistent, humorous, wise, strong, and successful. And a lot of times people try to guess what my kind of signs are. People tend to guess Virgo for me, but I'm actually a Capricorn rising. And so I think that's the energy that people pick up on. So this is also applicable for me. So let's get your overall 2026 first house energy. So right away, I'm picking up some sort of delay with the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands, it's connected to here, the King of Wands. So delayed action, but it's a result of this, Five of Cups. This is a shift in mindset and perspective. This is, let me act from the place of the Two of Cups standing, not the Three of Cups that spilled over. And so the shift in perspective is necessary. And so it feels like there's a delay connected to transforming with this Five of Cups energy and then taking action here. So let's get your obstacles and challenges for the first house. Seven of Wands, this is about standing up for yourself. Knight of Cups, going after what you want. And the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords here is really what is the bottleneck. This is the obstacle or the challenge. So the Ten of Swords indicates some sort of painful ending, something that you're going to have to work through with the Seven of Wands in order to pursue something here that you want. And it feels like until this transformation is complete, you're not really going to be able to take the action the way that you want, not from that King energy. And you want to take it from that King energy. The King is strong, confident, knows his own mind, worth, all of it. And so it feels like here the delays are connected to the healing process and also the release of whatever this wound represents. So let's get the advice here for your first house. Six of Cups. So this is a card of nostalgia. So there's something about the past resurfacing that you need to work through. It was where this kind of wound originated. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior, but this is really what's preventing the kind of completion of the transformation. Not that you're not working on it, but this really, once you drop your barrier, once you're ready to open up, that's when the transformation is complete. And I'm getting the Five of Wands here. And so the obstacles and challenges around, there's something about the way that you're looking at the past and the way that you're trying to incorporate some sort of change within your perception, the way that you're looking at things and that kind of balanced energy moving forward so that you're acting from a place of balance, not from a place of loss or lack. There's something here that you're being guided to do. It's really about the understanding of the past. I'm almost getting a sense here of like bifurcating. So separate the pain from the happy memories in the past so that you prioritize happiness and you start to look at things that way. You can mourn, grieve, let go of the past energy and still have those positive experiences too, because not everything was negative 100% of the time. There would have been positive moments, and it's okay to hold on to those while releasing the past. And so the next house here, it's the second house. So it's known as the house of values. It's really connected to your finances. You'll see here in a minute, but think about the money that you have in a savings account, any kind of investments, because it is connected to your money, your finances, income, possessions, security, material desires, savings, expenses, movable property, debt management, any kind of financial responsibility, resources, physical environment. Your self-worth is also included in this house. So it is the house of value. And so your self-worth, how you relate to and feel about the material world. So really kind of what do you value in life? How do you value things? What you value and why. So there's a lot that's kind of part of that second house. And so the overall theme is value. And so this is the second house card. And it's in the sign of Aquarius. And so Aquarius here is innovative, artistic, individualistic, compassionate, visionary, humanitarian, eclectic, courageous, and optimistic. And so one thing that I'm going to note here is the North Node. So all throughout 2025, we've had the North Node in the sign of Pisces. That happened back in January of 2025. July 26, 2026, the North Node moves from Pisces into Aquarius. So the last 5 months of the year, this will be sitting in your house of values. And so the North Node, as it's transiting this house, is really connected to future, purpose, growth, potential, karmic path, destiny, what you need to learn, and where you're going. And so these are the new lessons that are coming toward you or that are opening up for you. Sorry, I didn't mean for that to be loud. So let's get your overall second house for 2026. These are all major cards. And so what I'm getting here is the Hanged Man. So this is that pause or delay energy again, but it's giving you an opportunity to look at the big picture here. Identify what path you want to take. See all of the missing pieces, because I'm getting something about the details and observing everything around you. It's taking in all of that information when you're trying to identify what is the best path forward. I'm also getting the Emperor showing up here. And so it feels like part of this, what I'm actually picking up is, yes, what you value here and taking a look at the big picture, but I'm getting a lot of it connected to you in this Emperor energy. And so the Emperor, it's Aries, it's that Mars energy. This is somebody who is very stable, very grounded. And it feels like what you're being given right now is an opportunity to see yourself differently, kind of focus on your success, your stability, coming up with some sort of plan. Because of this Emperor being Mars, it's also the god of war. And so the god of war has a lot of plans. It's taking a look at the big picture, coming up with contingencies here. So if plan A doesn't work, plan B is right there at the ready. And so I'm getting that kind of sense here. There's something about planning and strategizing, but also recognizing what you're capable of doing. And so any kind of delays are really giving you an opportunity to step into your own strength and power here. And then I get the Hierophant. And so the Hierophant, it's Taurus energy, which is very closely aligned with the second house. And so this Taurus energy here is really, it's stable, it's grounded, it's union. This is aligning with something here that you really love and value. And it's coming at it from a stable, grounded, balanced place. But the delays here are really so you can step into that energy. You're not going to have this on day one. This is something that you're going to grow into throughout the year. So let's get the obstacles or challenges. Okay. Tell me more. This almost reads like a timeline. So I'm getting the 9 of Swords. So any kind of stress, fear, or anxiety that you're experiencing would be an obstacle here. It's something that you need to see differently. That is part of the 5 of Cups that we saw in the first house, but it's also connected to the Hanged Man here in the second house. I'm also getting the Fool showing up, and it feels like when you're able to look at the big picture and you're able to kind of step into your own power, that's when you clearly see this Fool opportunity, this brand new start, this leap of faith. You are ready to move forward when you're able to identify it. Page of Pentacles, and then there's planning for the future. And so this actually just reads more like a timeline. When you're ready to see everything and you're ready to move forward, it's because you've done the work. You're in this very stable, grounded place. You've aligned with something here that you love and value, and that allows you to move forward. So what is the advice here for your second house? So I'm getting the world. So it's closing out a cycle. It's completion. Whatever is closing out here, it's a lesson that you've already learned. You've mastered it. There's nothing left for you to learn. This is about letting go. I'm getting the Six of Cups here, that card of nostalgia, really focusing here on happiness. And I'm getting the Star. So it's closing out the old, opening up space for new to come in, and actually for you to pursue it here. The Six of Cups and the Star feel like you're ready to kind of prioritize happiness and maybe even bringing back some level of happiness that you experienced in the past, but connected to either a new process or a new dream here, because the Star feels new, or the way you're going about it feels new. And so the next house here is the third house, and this is the house of communication. And so it is connected to your conscious mind, your correspondence, your expression, written and verbal language, ideas, data processing, early education, learning, community, siblings, neighbors, technology, transportation, short journeys, so anything by car, how you think, process, perceive, and share information. And so this is the third house card. And it's in the sign of Pisces. And so Pisces is where the North Node is right now as I'm recording this in December of 2025. And it will be here again through the end of July. So July 26 is when the nodes change signs. And so Pisces is intuitive, compassionate, generous, creative, gentle, imaginative, selfless, influential, romantic, and emotional. And so let's get your third house overall energy for 2026. So the Five of Wands is coming through. So any kind of obstacles and challenges, but then I get the Fool showing up here. This actually feels like a very clear demarcation that the obstacles and challenges are connected to some sort of transformation. It's about change. All of these fives showing up so far in the reading indicate some sort of change. And then the Fool has now shown up a couple of times. And so this is about a new beginning, something opening up for you. And then I get the Emperor showing up again, that Aries energy. And so this is about stepping into your strength and power. It's finding ways to tackle challenging situations. It's transforming yourself in a way that allows you to act from that place of balance. You might experience any, this actually is coming through as delays. So any kind of challenges around initiating a new beginning, just feel like they're connected to the healing process, the closing out of the old. So let's get the obstacles and challenges here for your third house. Ace of Wands, taking new action. Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands, that finding the strength and courage is how it's coming through. And so it's taking some sort of internal action to initiate the new chapter, new beginning. Because I've got the Queen in between the two aces, but it's really the Queen driving the two aces. And so I've got the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles showing up here from an obstacle standpoint. These are not obstacles by themselves. This is really about finding a way to complete the transformation so that you're able to embrace all of these new beginnings. Because I do have the Emperor showing up, the Ace of Wands. So you want to take action here. Queen of Wands, again, want to take action and you want to build something grounded and stable. This is really the new beginning that you want to initiate. Feels like it's very different. Feels like you want to take full advantage of the situation by being as strong and confident and really planning things out and kind of, I'm getting a lot of that mindful, strategic, willful energy of the Emperor. So what is the advice here? So the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is some sort of stress, fear, anxiety. Seven of Swords. Why is that coming up like this? Because the Seven of Swords indicates some sort of illusion, that you're not seeing the situation clearly. What is driving the fear? What's driving the anxiety? What's preventing you from initiating a new chapter or fully embracing this new beginning energy? Because it feels like it's coming from within you, within your mind, and it's a misperception of the situation here. But then I get the Tower. So the Tower feels like you're going to get the information that you need in order to see everything clearly. And it feels like this information, in however it comes to you, is showing you just the clarity that you need. So seeing the big picture exactly as it is, but it's also showing you what steps you need to take in order to kind of embrace this new beginning and close out the old cycle here. So whatever the Tower is doing for you, because it feels like it's going to be, I wouldn't say earth shattering, but it does feel pretty significant here in its effect. So when this strikes, it feels like it's upending things on you, but it's actually working in your favor. It's giving you the information you need to make more informed, better choices for yourself so that you can kind of embrace this new beginning here. So the next house here is the fourth house of home and family. So it's connected to your history, your ancestry, your parents, real estate, property, land, roots, family and cultural traditions, foundation, childhood, usually associated with the nurturing parent, so mother, physical and emotional concept of home, conditions in early and late life, and the atmosphere that shaped you. And so this is the fourth house card. And it's in the sign of Aries. And so Aries is assertive, determined, ambitious, spontaneous, brave, curious, independent, resourceful, competitive, and a leader. So it's that Emperor energy. So let's see what shows up here. We've had the Emperor show up a few times. Let's see if it shows up in the fourth house. So let's get your overall fourth house energy for 2026. So I'm getting the Tower showing up here. So sudden energy. So this actually feels like it's a sudden new beginning. Ace of Cups, something here that you want. This new chapter, this new beginning feels like it's coming from your emotional space. This is something that you've been working towards or have been really wanting. I get the Three of Wands here with it. And so the Three of Wands, it's a card of patience. This is something that you've been working towards for a while. You might have felt stuck because there's something about feeling stuck. And with the Tower showing up, this kind of breakthrough energy where all of a sudden any kind of delay comes to an end because you're able to see the new beginning and really what action do you need to take to fully embrace it. So what are the obstacles and challenges here for your fourth house? King of Swords, clarity. Until the Tower strikes, I feel like things aren't going to be as clear as they need to be. But Nine of Cups, this is clarity around maybe what you want. I've got the Nine of Cups and I have the Ten of Cups here. So if it's about your long-term happiness, some sort of goal around emotional fulfillment in your home environment, there may be an opportunity. Part of the delay is getting clear on exactly what you want here. I'm also getting the Five of Wands, obstacles and challenges. It's about clearing away the obstacles and challenges. Part of that is connected to you kind of fine-tuning what you're looking for or the kind of home environment that you want for yourself. Whether that's a location, it's the actual structure. So let's say moving from an apartment into a house or something along those lines. It's getting clear on exactly what you want. And then it feels like once you have that clarity, the obstacles themselves do feel like they kind of either go away with the Tower or you're given the information that you need in order to overcome them. I'm getting both of those. So what is the advice here for your fourth house? So the Five of Pentacles here, it's letting go of the old. It's really closing out the cycle that's coming through repeatedly. I'm also getting the sense here that whatever the Tower is removing, be mindful and aware of why something is leaving your life, because there's a reason for it. The Tower is here to assist you. As uncomfortable as it is when it hits, it's here to help you. And so any kind of information that you're receiving, or if it's actually removing the block here, the barriers, this is saying it was holding you back in some capacity, and you either needed that information or you needed the obstacle removed. Because I'm getting the Hierophant here, and so these are both 5 cards, and they're all about change. It's really about embracing the change. It's coming into alignment. Could even be a union here specifically. We do have the 10 of Cups and now the Hierophant. These are both marriage cards. This here is saying really prioritize what matters to you. Prioritize just exactly what you love and value. I'm also getting the 3 of Swords here. So it's letting go of any kind of past heartbreak, things not working out. Heartbreak can take a lot of different things. It doesn't necessarily have to be around another person. It can be situations that just turned out to be very disappointing, didn't go the way that you wanted them to go. It's working through all of that, letting go of the old, really embracing the new here. Then we get into the 5th house, and the 5th house is known as the house of pleasure and fun. And so it's connected to your passion, your creativity, entertainment, recreation, athletics, fun, music, fashion, art, self-expression, dating, casual love affairs, so anything that doesn't lead to marriage, sex, flirtation, drama, theater, imagination, performing, playfulness, children, and fertility. And so think of the 5th house as anything you enjoy doing outside of work, anything that's just fun for you. That's the 5th house. And so it's in the sign of Taurus here. And Taurus is stable, hardworking, reliable, patient, trustworthy, practical, sensual, generous, and loyal. And so let's get your overall 5th house for 2026. Temperance. So Sagittarius energy. This is emotional balance. That's connected to the Tower here. And so the Tower is that breakthrough energy. Again, it feels like something here is ending and starting for you. And the transformation, you're being assisted by the universe. It's meant to create alignment. It's meant to create balance within you. It's also meant to give you the visibility on opportunities opening up, where you see potential with this 2 of Wands. You want to make that choice, move in that direction, but first you need to see it. And that's what the Tower is here to do. It's to open you up to be able to see this and act from a place of emotional balance and alignment. What are the obstacles and challenges here for your 5th house? Death card. So Pluto energy coming through very loud and clear. It's Scorpio, and this is change and transformation, endings and new beginnings. It's the transformation itself. So this balance really does happen on the other side, but you're being assisted here by the Tower. Out of all of the major cards, these are the 2 that indicate sudden change or some sort of transformation. And so it's not really an obstacle in that way, but it's part of the process. And so early on, you're not going to be balanced. You're not going to be balanced on January 1st. This really does indicate that you're working towards something and then being assisted by the universe. Because I'm getting the 3 of Swords here. And so that's showing up again. And so this is really about healing from something here in the past. It's kind of overcoming. I'm getting some sort of internal challenge. So wherever this heartbreak originated, it feels like you're working through it. Queen of Cups, self-love and care. And so you're prioritizing your emotional well-being, which is the Temperance energy. It's that alchemist. You're able to manifest what you want and work towards your goals and dreams easier when you identify anything here that's holding you back, and then you work through it. That's the transformation process. That's what you're currently going through, even as I'm recording this in December of 2025. And so as you're kind of navigating the transformation, you're getting information, the universe is assisting you, and it's opening up new beginning. new beginning energy. But it's going to be something here that you need to action with that Two of Wands. You're going to have to make a choice to go after this. It's not just going to organically happen. You're going to have to do something about it. So let's get the advice here for your 5th house. So the 3 of Cups here, prioritizing your happiness. This is focusing on friends, family, anybody that you enjoy being around. The World, closing out the old cycle. This is really encouraging the new beginning here. 2 of Pentacles, balancing yourself, balancing your priorities. And so this is about taking the time that you need to kind of close out the old, taking the assistance from the universe here with the Tower, but it's also prioritizing going forward, what really matters to you, and making that the number 1 priority. Put your kind of proportionate effort against what matters. So if it's a really high significance, let that be where you spend the majority of your energy. And so the next house is the 6th house, and it's known as the house of work and health, but it's really about your daily life, your daily routines. So it is your health and vitality, your well-being. It's your fitness, your diet, your hygiene, habits, structure, schedule, duty, tasks, healing, volunteer and humanitarian work, employment, necessary work, service, pets, and small creatures. And so this is the 6th house, and it's in the sign of Gemini. And Gemini is curious, communicative, agile, adaptable, intelligent, youthful, outgoing, creative, and perceptive here. And so let's get your overall 6th house for 2026. Your transformation is all over this reading. I'm getting the 4 of Pentacles here. And so the 4 of Pentacles is stability. It's a solid foundation. And so this really does indicate that you're building something solid for yourself. It's almost like you're reestablishing the way that you're approaching life in general because of the way that you're transforming and how frequent that has shown up so far in the reading. It feels like what you're working towards is kind of rebuilding your foundation. And once you have that kind of solidified, you're able to grow on top of that. You're able to pursue new opportunities, new beginnings. I am getting the 9 of Wands here. And so the 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior. And so with that, I'm getting the Queen of Swords. Now the Queen of Swords is clarity, but I'm also getting it as a releasing energy. And so when it comes to this wound, this has actually been blocking your stability, whether you recognize that or not. I get the sense here that this is an old wound that you've kind of almost worked around, where you structured your life in a way that either didn't allow you to get hurt again, or didn't allow you to be set up for disappointment. Take it as it resonates. Whatever you did in your daily life, you structured it in a way that was actually not built on a solid foundation. Now what's happening is you have the ability to make the changes within yourself and the way that you approach life in general. And so recreating, reestablishing the kind of foundation that you want so that you're able to then grow and expand. Because I don't get the sense here with this wound that growth and expansion was available to you. So what are the obstacles and challenges here with your 6th house? So the star here, Aquarius energy. This is about going after your goals and dreams. Knight of Swords, movement forward. Yeah, Page of Swords, clarity around this. The way this is coming through, it's really what I was articulating around kind of that protective measure, setting your life up in a way that didn't allow for you to get hurt again, or really was just almost like an isolating protective energy that you put around yourself and you structured your life that way. This was not allowing any kind of progress towards any kind of goals that you had. This was what is showing up as the obstacle, is that you wanted growth and expansion. You wanted to pursue something, some sort of goal or dream, or even complete the healing process. But something here was kind of stopping you along the way. I am getting the sense here with this Queen of Swords, Page of Swords, that you're getting the clarity that you need. You're really diving in deep to identify what this block is so that you can work to break down your own walls here. Didn't even get the words out. So more advice here for Capricorn in the 6th. I love all of these cards that came out. So I've got the Judgment card. So this is your resurrection and rebirth. It's completing the transformation. 2 of Wands. So prioritizing where you see opportunity and potential, moving in that direction. The Death card, the change and transformation, the endings and new beginnings. This is really about embracing the transformation, recognizing that things here, once you complete the transformation process, it feels like you're evaluating everything else along the way. The way that you've structured your life, the way that you've kind of maybe balanced things in your life. I do get the sense here of whatever these changes are, they're going to feel better because of this Judgment card. This is you clearly choosing yourself and prioritizing what matters to you. And you're being advised to do that. And so the next house here is the 7th house, and it's the house of partnerships. It's the house of marriage. So first marriage, 7th house. Second marriage would have a little bit of the 7th, but also the 9th. And so the 7th house, because it is focused on one-to-one relationships, that's why it's connected to marriage. So it's also connected to other kinds of romantic partners. So think of long-term, maybe live-in kind of relationships here. Business partnerships, peers, enemies, contracts, agreements, negotiation, divorce, lawsuits, courts, treaties, how you relate to others and why. So it's all those really important relationships in your life that fall in the 7th house. And so this is the 7th house card. And it's in the sign of Cancer here. And so Cancer is nurturing, loyal, supportive, intuitive, compassionate, resilient, domestic, empathetic, and protective. And so let's get your overall 7th house for 2026. Page of Wands. So taking action here, but it's really that young, youthful action. Do something here around a new beginning. So I've got the Fool showing up here. So it looks like you have an opportunity to really embrace something new here. I'm also getting the 9 of Wands. And so the 9 of Wands, it's connected to the wound. And so let me actually get a little bit more. Tell me about that 9 of Wands. Why is that here? Because this might have been the protective measure. Yeah, Chariot. So you're going to overcome this. So the Chariot, that Cancer energy in the house ruled by Cancer. So take it as it resonates here. But this is a card of success and victory. So any kind of blocks around relationships, deepening, strengthening, or initiating some sort of new relationship here, that meaningful, significant relationship, it feels like you're going to overcome anything that's been blocking it. Any kind of internal wound that's been really putting you in that protective energy, you're going to find a way to work through it and open up to somebody here. At least one person. So what are the obstacles and challenges here for your 7th house? It feels like there's a 4th. Okay, let's get one more. So the Queen of Wands, so this is actually taking internal action. It's working through that wound. 6 of Cups, the card of nostalgia. So it's prioritizing your happiness. So finding a way to kind of open yourself up to this new beginning energy of the Fool. 4 of Swords, the healing process. And so it's just timing. Honestly, it just feels like timing. It feels like you need to close out the old, really kind of break down your own barriers around happiness, opening up to somebody here, and then you're able to initiate a new beginning. Because I'm getting the Knight of Cups also as a blocker or barrier, and it's really not. It's just the way that you're opening up now versus the way that you want to open up moving forward. What is the advice here for you in the 7th house? So I'm getting the Devil here, Capricorn energy. I'm getting the Lovers, Gemini, and I'm getting the Hanged Man here. And so this is really about the way that you look at relationships and what it means to actually be in a happy, healthy relationship, because the Hanged Man is saying, look at the Devil, look at the Lovers. The Devil has the Lover shackled. The Lovers in the Lovers card are free to go after the kind of relationship that they want. This is what you need to see. This is what you need in order to be able to work through the wound, in order to really open up to that Lover's energy. In order to open up to a relationship, you need to let go of old limitations. And it's that 9 of Wands. It's the wound here that you need to heal from. And so the next house here is the 8th house, and it's known as the house of death and transformation. So it is connected to death and rebirth, change, spirituality, soul growth, regeneration, the occult, secrets, shadow side of the psyche, shared possessions, partners' finances, hidden desires, sexuality, intimacy, inheritance, wills, loans, and taxes. So it's change and transformation, yes, but also second house connected to the money that you have. 8th house, money coming in from an outside source. And it's also the money going out. So there's a lot of kind of connection between the two. And I'm highlighting this because we have the North Node going from Pisces into Aquarius. So it's moving from your house of communication into your house of finances and what you value. And then here we've got the South Node moving from growth and expansion into this 8th house, into this Leo energy here. This, because it's the house of death and transformation, and we do have it in the South Node. Let me show you the 8th house, because there's something here, because this is the house of transformation. Your transformation has been showing up repeatedly here. South Node is about completion. It's closing out cycles. And so let's see how this all plays out. So let me talk about Leo first. So Leo is charismatic, brave, ambitious, confident, enthusiastic, passionate, generous, protective, and a leader. And so with the South Node, because this is connected to the past, so this is what's already familiar, it's what you've mastered, completed, can be stagnation. So if you sit in this energy for too long, what you're doing is you're stifling new opportunities. And so it is what you already know and where you came from. And so this is about closing out cycles, and it's connected to transformation. So let's get the overall energy here for your 8th house. And now to reiterate, just like I did with the North Node, this is going to be the back half. So really July 26th through the end of 2026, you'll have the South Node in this house or transiting this house. So what is the overall 8th house for 2026? Hanged Man, pause or delay, giving you an opportunity to see things from a different point of view. The Empress, so the Empress is the change and transformation. So this is prioritizing balance, focusing on what you love and value, about yourself, about just life in general. And then I get the Fool. And so this actually feels very much like your transformation, that you have some sort of pause. That feels like it's early in the year. It's giving you an opportunity to kind of evaluate everything and really align with what you love and value in order to create this new beginning. And that Fool card indicates that whatever you're closing out of, it's not a cycle that's going to repeat. In fact, that's actually what the South Node represents. It's completion. You don't have anything left to learn. That's why the cycle's not going to repeat. So let's get any obstacles or challenges here for your 8th house. Six of Wands, success and victory. The Sun, seeing everything clearly. And the Seven of Swords, more of that clarity. So the Seven of Swords indicates that maybe not seeing the situation as it is. The Sun is trying to illuminate, show you the missing pieces of information. This really kind of relates back to the Hanged Man energy, where when you look at things from a high level and maybe that bird's eye view, when you look down at everything and you identify, oh, that's the reality. That's what I need to see here with the Sun and the Seven of Swords. That's how I move forward and focus on success and victory here with the Six of Wands. So it really does speak to just the way that you're looking at things versus the way that you need to be looking at things. So what is the advice here for your 8th house? So I'm getting the Strength card, Leo energy. It's finding the strength and courage in yourself to embrace a new beginning here with the Ace of Pentacles. Build something that's long lasting. So this is really, it's meant to be built with a stable foundation. So it's finding the strength to really embrace this change so that you can initiate the new chapter, new beginning. The Magician is so you can manifest what you want. And then I get the Ace of Cups here. And so this is a lot of new energy. It's finding the strength and courage to really act from a place of this is what I want. I'm ready to embrace it. I'm ready to build this kind of next chapter, next phase that's meant to be long lasting, build that solid foundation. It revolves around your transformation and closing it out. So it's finding the strength and courage to say, okay, I'm ready for the new beginning. So let me just close out. Let me kind of complete the transformation so that I can align with what I want here. And so the next house is the 9th house. And this is the house of philosophy and knowledge. It's really about growth and expansion. So it is connected to higher wisdom, study, the superconscious mind, religion, ideologies, belief systems, exploration, foreign destinations, travel, so anything by plane, global awareness, mental exploration, publishing, law, ethics and morals, large animals. And so this is the 9th house, and it's in the sign of Virgo. And so Virgo is analytical, responsible, organized, hardworking, logical, patient, reliable, faithful, and altruistic. And as we've seen all throughout 2025, this is where the South Node is currently sitting. So this is about closing out cycles here. And so again, here's the South Node card just for reference, but you're closing out, you're completing cycles, and you're ready to move forward. So let's get your overall 9th house for 2026. King of Wands, taking action. Page of Cups, listening to your emotions. What is going to be in your best interest emotionally and acting from that place. I'm also getting the Page of Wands here. And so the 2 pages kind of indicate new beginning energy. They're young, they're youthful, they want to explore and just kind of expand with this 9th house. And so it feels like this kind of fresh inspiration or creativity around growth. Something here. Maybe it's study, maybe it's expanding your belief system. There's something around that. I'm picking up a lot of expansive energy here. So let's get any obstacles or challenges for your 9th house. So the Chariot here, Cancer energy, success and victory. Queen of Wands, so taking action, and the Ten of Swords. This is the only one that's actually an obstacle here. And so letting go of the past, kind of doing the work, healing from whatever happened, closing it out, releasing it, then you're able to move forward with a lot of success. Right now, this is holding you back. This is not allowing for any kind of real progress to be made. And it feels like you're ready for progress. It feels like on the other side of this transformation, maybe I'll take a step back, because the way that you're approaching the transformation is this is something that you want. This is you aligning with some sort of goal or dream, because I do get a lot of passion behind working through all of this. that you want better for yourself. You want a better life. You want more of just happiness in general. And so it feels like you're inspired and motivated to take the action necessary to complete the healing process and close out the transformation. And any kind of releasing energy you do, it feels like it's liberating. It's going to open you up to new beginnings. It's allowing you to really make progress and move forward. The way your energy is coming through, I'm definitely getting a sense of you wanting to do the work in order to embrace the new. So let's get the advice here for your 9th house. So the 8 of Swords here is that self-imposed prison of the mind. So it's a lot of thinking and overthinking. But then I get the Ace of Swords showing up here, and it's what it's really directing you to do is don't spend so much time in your thoughts. Really kind of get the clarity that you need and then let go. This is not about kind of overthinking and planning everything out to nauseam or to the nth degree, which doesn't allow for any kind of progress here, because that King of Wands wants to move forward. So does the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups. These are all movement cards. I'm also getting Temperance here. And so this is a lot of prioritizing your emotional balance. It's not about just kind of mentally processing everything and release. It's really with the intent to be balanced internally, act from that place of balance. And so if you kind of allow yourself to get trapped up in your mind, you're not able to find the balance because you're not balanced when you're like that. Your heart is not there with you. It's all up in your head. And so it's clearing all of that up, allowing for you to find the balance within yourself, the head and heart alignment of the Temperance energy so that you can move forward. The next house here is the 10th house, and it's the house of career and public reputation. So even if you're not in a point of working anymore, like maybe you're retired, semi-retired, this is also connected to legacy and success. So it's legacy, success, status, achievements, respect, authority, professional goals, power, influence, public persona, recognition, destiny, contribution to society, fame, how we want to be remembered, and typically associated with father or the dominant parent. And so let's get your overall 10th house energy. High Priestess. So the High Priestess is a lot of emotional balance. It's prioritizing your intuition. That's exactly how it's coming through. You're prioritizing something within yourself, knowing all the answers, having that kind of just that intuitive hit that this is the right move for you. Judgment, your resurrection and rebirth. It looks like it's having a positive influence here on your career. It's allowing you to trust yourself in the process because the High Priestess is a 2 and the Judgment is 20. So it reduces to 2. There's a lot of balance coming through here. 6 of Swords, moving towards something more calm, more stable. So if you have experienced volatility, it feels like that might be calming down here. It's connected to your transformation because the Judgment is really closing out that cycle. This is what's allowing for progress to be made. The way that you're approaching things is going to be very different in 2026 than it would have been, say, in 2024 or even early 2025 because of all the transformation that has been happening. And it feels like here, you're going to be closing out that cycle and fully stepping into your own power. Because that Judgment card, it's the Phoenix rising. So what are the obstacles and challenges here for your 10th house? Three of Wands, patience, waiting for things to unfold here, waiting for your ships to come in. Page of Swords, gaining some sort of clarity. And then the 2 of Swords, indecision. And so these feel like they're connected to the transformation, that you're not able to take clear action, that you're not sure what action to take here until things kind of clear up, until you're able to kind of complete that healing, transformative process. Then it feels like you're moving towards something more calm and stable. because this is also your career. This actually could be connected to some sort of change in your career. But take that as it resonates. Not everybody is looking to make a change in their career, but that could also indicate this too. What is the advice here for your 10th house? So the Four of Pentacles here is your solid foundation. This is your stability. The Emperor, more of that same. These are both 4 cards, and the 4s are about stability. This is really stepping into your own strength, your own power, your own kind of leadership energy, taking control of your life, your decision-making process. 7 of Wands, pushing through any kind of healing work that needs to be done, because I also have the Hermit out here. And so this is really about doing what you need to in order to kind of internally reflect, process, heal from whatever happened in the past so that you can fully embrace the new and really step into that Emperor strength. Picking up a lot of your transformation here, but I'm picking up more of your new beginning. So the next house here is the 11th house. And the 11th house, think of your community of friends, your tribe here. And so it is community, altruism, social groups, organizations, colleagues, networking, earned wealth, ideals, humanitarian causes, philanthropy, individual and societal aspirations, hopes, wishes, and good fortune. And so this is the 11th house. And it's in the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio is passionate, ambitious, perceptive, dominant, intense, sensual, emotional, mysterious, and introspective. So let's get your overall 11th house energy for 2026. Five of Swords, resolving some sort of conflict. King of Wands, taking action to resolve conflict, to make some necessary changes here in your group of friends. I'm picking up some sort of conversation, like an overt conversation, something that you're initiating. And I'm getting the Emperor coming through. And so the Emperor is coming through as somebody who's very confident, knows their own worth and value, has their mind made up that this is something that they want to pursue, or this is a conversation that's necessary in order for the community to move forward together. So what are the obstacles and challenges here for your 11th house? So with the Ace of Cups, we have that new beginning showing up here. 3 of Wands, any kind of delays. So patience, things kind of happening at the right time. I'm also getting the Ace of Swords. And so it feels like here, the delay is connected to a new beginning. And it feels like this is part of the transformation process, that there's something about the way that you interact with groups of people. This would not be the individual relationships. Those would be the 7th house. This would be the group at large, that kind of circle of friends or anything along those lines, anything that constitutes your community, your tribe. And it feels like here, it's part of the work that you're doing to kind of prioritize your stability. Then you're able to have some sort of new beginning. So what is the advice here for your 11th house? Five of Pentacles. There's some sort of change that's necessary because we have 2 5s showing up here. And even with the 2 aces, some sort of change is blocking a new beginning. And this is going to be necessary for any kind of growth. The 5 of Pentacles is saying, leave something behind here. Justice, prioritize balance. And 6 of Wands, prioritize success. So it's about kind of whatever's holding this relationship or these relationships back, it's finding out what that is exactly, working through it, letting it all go. So allowing for kind of balance and happiness and success here in your group of friends. And then the last house here is the 12th house. And so it's known as the house of transcendence. It's also the unseen. So it's your hidden self, your subconscious, unconscious, escape, fantasy, rest, dreams, sleep, addictions, self-destruction, limitations, detachment, confinement, hospitals, brothels, secrets, spiritual experiences, psychic abilities, temples, meditation, karmic debt, intuition, freedom, and healing. And so this is the 12th house card. And it's in the sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is independent, honest, intelligent, free-spirited, caring, open-minded, adventurous, and a deep thinker. And so let's get your overall 12th house for 2026. This is really you away from the rest of the world. I love this. So I'm getting the 9 of Pentacles here. So this is a card of abundance, but this is self-made. This is all the work that you're doing in order to create abundance within yourself, because this is your inner self. Knight of Swords, you're moving in this direction. Page of Swords, but you're getting the clarity that you need. And so this is about you kind of working through the transformation process and kind of prioritizing what really matters here and stepping into this feeling of abundance and creating abundance around you. What are the obstacles and challenges here with your 12th house? Four of Cups. So this is a card of stagnation. This is getting stuck in some sort of sadness, disappointment, trying to make the best of a situation, even though it's not ideal. That would block your transformation. And really what I've been picking up very clearly in this entire reading is that you're focused on closing out a cycle, opening yourself up to something new, but coming at it from a different point of view. The Four of Cups would block all of that. You always have the choice whether or not to embrace this new beginning or to close out the transformation, to even do it in the first place. You can always choose to be stuck here, but that will block any kind of abundance. Three of Wands. So that card of patience, waiting for your ships to come in. And then I get the Empress energy. And so the Three of Wands and the Empress, that just feels like you're working towards kind of raising your vibration, focusing here on what you love and value, finding that balance within yourself. It's really the Four of Cups here that would block any kind of transformation from closing out or allowing you to really embrace this new cycle, new beginning. So what is the advice here for your 12th house? So I'm getting the Tower here. So the Tower is that breakthrough energy. And so it feels like the recognition, the awareness of what needs to go. You might all of a sudden just receive this information, or you might find that the universe is helping you out and it's removing some sort of block or obstacle. Hierophant. The Hierophant feels like it's coming into alignment with your higher self. This is some sort of union here. It's Taurus energy, so it's very grounded. It's also connected to your belief system. You're letting go of an old belief system. An old way of thinking is part of this transformation process. We picked it up earlier in the reading with the Five of Cups. That's exactly what I'm picking up here with this Hierophant energy, also a number 5. And so the change here feels like it's a change in your thought process, in your approach to things. That's part of the transformation. Two of Pentacles, balancing priorities. And then I'm getting the Six of Swords, moving towards something more calm and stable. So what the universe is saying here is be open to new ideas, new information, modifications to your belief system. Really embrace these changes. Prioritize what matters. Find the balance that way. where if it's significant, then put the most amount of effort against it. If it's not significant, is it worth your time? Is it worth even holding on to? Because the Six of Swords says move towards something more calm and stable. So if something down here is keeping you out of alignment, is it necessary? Because the universe is really kind of saying it's not if it's not a responsibility or anything like that. So I'm going to put these over to the side. I'll shuffle after this reading. But what I want to get here is any last messages for you, Capricorn, for 2026. So let's get any last messages here for Capricorn. That one felt significant. So I do have the Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck. This is taking that fresh action, this kind of new beginning energy, feeling inspired and motivated to do something. It's really embracing that. Because what I'm getting here with the Nine of Swords, you're closing out a cycle, that was really based on fear. It wasn't allowing any kind of progress because your mind wasn't allowing progress. This is really the energy of somebody who lets fear dictate their choices and actions. That actually feels like it's part of the transformation process. You can alleviate the fear through planning and through other ways. You don't need to kind of protect yourself in every aspect, in every way, because it was blocking this, the Nine of Cups. And so the Nine of Cups is about going after what you want, despite any fear, including the fear of failure. And I'm getting the Moon. And so the Moon is really highlighting your emotions and anything coming up to the surface that needs to be addressed. Because this feels like you may not have fully realized what this Nine of Swords was until you started looking at it, and then you started going deeper and then deeper. And that's what the Moon is all about. It's let's go into all the layers. Let's go down into your psyche and identify what is the underlying stress here? Why are you structuring your life in this way? And how do you want to modify that in order to be able to go after something that you want? So Capricorn, this is your 2026 reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.